I love a brew. I'm gonna sit by the cake. Isn't it weird being in someone else's house?
Been so long. I miss people.
Shake off my past and surrender everything. 'Cause when it comes to forever, I'll turn to you. I'll turn to you.
Right, let's see what this is about. Mate, can you just tell me a bit about, like, basically how you became a Christian?
I was brought up in a Christian and a Muslim household. So my dad is a Muslim and my mum is a Christian, and her whole family are Christian. So I used to do church on a Sunday, and I'd do the mosque for Eid and all those things. But that was like when I was younger. That's a lot of hard work for like a child to do.
Yeah.
But I used to have like Imam lessons and then do everything and everything in between. And my mum used to send me to church with one of our neighbours, and she went to like a really jazzy Pentecostal church, and they had this skit once that was called Heaven's Gates and Hell's Fury. It doesn't sound as intense as it is. And they had a thing where they were just like, if you're good, you go to heaven, and if you're bad, you go to hell. Like, it was pretty rudimentary. And as like a 5-6-year-old, you're like, okay! You're like, this is my life now.
Gosh,
but that's what I thought. So for me, the journey of Christianity began then, because I was like, okay, you do a prayer, that's it. I just have to show up. And that was it. But I was still going to the mosque because my parents did both. We just carried on like that. Fast forward a few years, my parents got divorced, and I lived with my mum and my brother. And my dad was out of the picture when I was about 14 or 15. And so it was this time for me to explore faith on my own. It's not just we go to church on a Sunday, because if you're good, then you're going to go to heaven. If you're bad, you're going to go to hell. Mm-hmm. I started going to a church with my grandma and my mum, and it was just the most boring thing ever. But I got confirmed and I did the whole shebang, wore like a pretty little dress, but that wasn't enough for me. Then we moved to Eastbourne when I was 16, and I went to King's Church, and it was a completely different new experience. Church was fun and it was exciting, and they had lots of young people, and it felt like this place to do church. Yeah. So I chose for myself to get baptised at 16, and that kind of like, woo.
So do you think there was like sort of a transition, like from just sort of box ticking, sort of turning up on a Sunday and being like, this is good now that I've done this, and now I'm a Christian? So when you moved to Eastbourne,
I think
it became something else.
Yeah, because it became having relationships with people and having relationships with God. It wasn't just okay, I'm a Christian, I tick a box. This was, okay, this is something I'm intentionally doing, and I'm doing it on my own. I'm not doing it because my parents do it every single weekend. It's not like we go to church, we eat, we sit, do the Sunday traditions that are so embedded in everyone's culture, just like it's a thing you do. You get dressed in your Sunday best and go to church. But this was something completely new, and I absolutely loved it. For me, it was something that I had to do on my own.
Yeah. So how did you end up in Manchester?
I came to uni in 2009. It's a really long time ago. It was the heyday of Manchester. I came here on my own, so I came from Eastbourne to Manchester, and that's like 4.5, 5 hours. But it was this kind of like new thing, when you come to uni and you're like, do I need to change who I am? Yeah. And you have those first few days of Freshers Week where it's like, and church wasn't really a priority. And then I was like, okay, I need to make church a priority. So I started coming to CCM, and it was amazing, and it was fun, and it was hard. Coming to church in uni, it's hard if you don't commit and if you don't join in, because it's so easy to kind of like fall away. And I did a lot of falling during uni, but all the people who surrounded me, that anytime I'd feel like I was slipping, those nights where you go out and you drink too much, you wake up and you're feeling so guilty, you'd still go to church and you'd still be loved and it would still be the same. I think it's different steps. So like as a child, it's for your parents, and you get to your teen years, it's your decision. But when you go to uni, you're fully outside of your parents' house.
So like the sort of church family and like the power of church family at CCM was something that you'd say like sort of cemented you in?
Oh, fully. If I hadn't gone to a church that had people willing to engage and be your family away from home, like it's so hard those first weeks of uni. Like you feel so like lost and you're trying to find new friends and you're joining any sort of group, that knowing that these people are people who are always here. So you know, like during reading week people leave.
Yeah.
CCM has people who live in Manchester.
Yeah.
So when they go, if you can't go home, there's still someone here to look after you, and there's still someone here to like be in it with you. I think that changed it for me.
So how would you say like since then your faith has developed or changed, or what is the spiritual state of your heart right now?
Spiritual state of my heart right now.
I'm joking.
Wow. Is I am loving cake in every relationship. Oh, I am the classic. So treat it like your perfect relationship. You're supposed to like talk all the time and it's passionate and it's all these things. But I'm also really hormonal and I'm the person I am. So I will have moments every few months. I don't know if this is for me. I don't know who I am. But the one thing that is set and that is always constant is he is constant. My uni life is not black and white. It is a very big grey area. Really hard at times. There's been grief, there's been loss. As a church, we've gone through deaths together, we've gone through marriages together, we've gone through children being born. And seeing that, like for me, just gives me hope that it's like, it's okay. It's okay. Ultimately, it's gonna be fine.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're chilling.
Yeah, COVID has made stuff pretty boring. What have you been doing with your time?
Well, so I started off trying every single hobby under the sun, but I landed on weaving. My housemate started off doing macrame, and I started off doing weaving, and I was just out for a walk, and I was like, should we make this official? And we started up something called Knots and Cross on Instagram, and it is everything weaving, everything macrame. She makes beautiful lampshades and plant hangers, and we started dabbling in making like little macrame and woven jewellery. So basically, I want to craft forever, not work again.
Nice. What is it called on Instagram so we can follow it?
Knots and Cross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can find us there, just making cute little things.
Fab.
I will turn to you. I'll lift up my hands and I'll lift up my voice and sing. I will turn to you. Look in your face, cry, Jesus, you are my King. I will turn to you. Shake all my past and surrender everything. 'Cause when it comes to forever, there's one way that I'm heading. I'll turn to you. I'll turn to you.
I just want to stay by this cake forever.
There's nobody else but you. There's nobody else but